Hello, Vintage Outboard Motor fans. This is T-Mike. Come on. I'm out here on Toledo Bend Lake making another video today. Today's video is going to be a mill and repair service video for a subscriber named Michael, who is in Michigan. Michael called me and said he had his magneto, his carburetor, and his fuel pump that he wanted me to test. He's got a 1968 18 horsepower Evinrude. I got a 1957 18 horsepower Evinrude test motor outside that I'm going to take these parts out. I'm going to test them, see if they work or not on my Evinrude, and if they're not, I'm going to take care of it and fix it for him. I haven't opened the box yet. Let's see what's inside. If everybody's ready, here we go. All right. Let's open her up. Oh, first thing I see, Michael told me he was going to send me a check for $200, and he did. That ought to get it started. We'll see how it goes on parts. Here, and we got a lot of Walmart shopping bags. Here's the carburetor. The carburetor, he's got an electric choke on it. So I'm gonna take that outside and check it out. Oh, look what I got. Hey, he sent me a cap. The City of Atlanta Police Department cap. I love it when my subscribers send me stuff and ship me a cap. I think I'm going to stick a T-Mike cap in the box and send it back to him. Awesome. I have a collection of caps. And I like this one. It actually matches very good. I think this must be the fuel pump. Man, I hit the jackpot on Walmart shopping bags here. Yep, here's this fuel pump he wants to test. And here's his magneto. So I got magneto, carburetor, and fuel pump. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark them. I'm going to put Michael's name on it so I know which ones are his. I'm going to start off with the mag plate. I'm going to take you outside and run my 18 horsepower Evinrude for you, show you that it runs, and we'll stick this on it. We'll end up with this, a carburetor, and this fuel pump on my engine running, so I can take it and ship it back to him. I love what I do. If everybody's ready, here we go. Okay, so what I've done is I've marked Michael's magneto, carburetor, and fuel pump. Marked them all with M's with a magic marker. Now I'm going to go outside and run my 18 horsepower and put these on one at a time and test them, see how it works out. Here we go. Alright, here's my 18 horsepower right here. Same carburetor. Be able to test that. Test the magneto. Be able to change the fuel pump and test it. Let me show you that she runs. I got electric start on it. starts just fine. Now I'm gonna do the start with the change out. I think I'm gonna start with the fuel pump. Put his fuel pump on there, see if that was his problem or if it works. Here we go with that. Swapped out fuel pumps. I've got mics on there and I ran it for 5 minutes. So I know the fuel pump is good. So I think now I'm going to change the carburetor. I've got to remove the electric starter, take mine off and put his on. And we'll see if his carburetor is good. Here we go with that. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with Michael's carburetor. So the carb and the fuel pump are good. I suspect he's got magneto problems, probably running on one cylinder. So let's take the magneto and swap them out. Here we go with that. All right, before we put the magneto on the motor, I thought I'd do a wiring check on it, make sure maybe I can fix the problem before I put it on. So to check the coil, we'll go across the 2 leads of the coil, and we want to measure between 1 and 3 ohms. That's 3.4 ohms. That's good. And then we want to go between either lead. Between either lead and the end of the spark wire. And if I keep my lead connected to it, we want to see between 3 and 10,000 ohms, and I got 8.97 kilo ohms. So that one's good. So now we'll test the other coil between the 2 leads of the coil. We'll see around 3 ohms. .5 ohms. It's good. Coil's good. I would go between there and the other end of the wire. I want to see between 3 and 10,000, and we got 8,750. So now we are going to check the condensers with my capacitance checker. We put 1 lead to ground, the other lead to the only lead that's on the condenser, and on the 2 microfarad scale we see 0.230 on that one. And if we go to the other condenser, we see 0.225. So this tells me that the coils are good, the wiring is good, and the condensers are good. So if we do have a problem with it, I would suspect the points need cleaning or replacing. So we'll put it on the motor and we'll check it out. Here we go. All right, I got Michael's magneto on here, and my spark checker set up to it. We're gonna put the flywheel on it and see if we got spark. So as I'm putting the flywheel on it, I got the spark plugs unplugged. All right, to check spark. And as I turn the flywheel, the magneto is turning with it. See the magneto turning with the flywheel? That's a sign. I can get the flywheel off. Alright, I got the flywheel off and I'm looking at the coils, and coils are supposed to be flush with the base, and they're not. That's why the flywheel is dragging on it. They're not flush. That could be his problem. So I went and got my coil retainer ring. This is part number 31701, and I loosened all 3 screws on each one. Set the coil retainer on top, and now I'm going to push out on them, screw it down, take it off, and then show you how they're going to be flush. Alright, I got my retainer ring on there and adjusted them, screwed down all 6 screws. Take off the retainer ring, take a screwdriver, and run it across, and don't get stuck on all points. It's all even. It's important. And the reason for that is, as the flywheel spins around these edges, there needs to be the right gap here for the induction to jump across from the magnet, from the magnet to the coil to create the spark. If they're too close or too far, it won't work. That's why the coil armature needs to be even with the base to make it the right. Now if I put my flywheel on, the magneto should not spin with it. Now, see, the magneto does not move. I get a lot of calls and texts when people are saying that the magneto moves with the flywheel because your coils are touching. Now the coils are not touching, and I think that was his problem. Alright, let's put the flywheel nut on it and check for spark. Alright, I got my checker on here, and I'm going to give her the El Starto. Now I got spark on the bottom, none on the top. See my tie wrap right here? It also says tie wrap right here, which is the top. So the top coil bottom kind of misses a little bit too. The top has nothing. Now we know we measured everything was good, so the problem is with the top coil on this magneto. I'm gonna take her apart, and I'm gonna take a point file and 1,000 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna clean the points for that top side, take her, put her back on, and then measure for that spark again. Alright, so remember I said that the trouble is on the top cylinder, which is this coil right here and this set of points. So what I've done is I've removed the spark leads, and I'm going to get my timing tool, alright, with the spark plugs out. Makes it easier to turn, and look what I found. So when that T for top hits these 2 marks, point should open. When they're right here, the point should close. If you look at the points, they're open, 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 open. They don't close till about right there. They're opening way, they're not set right. So I'm gonna put my meter across it. And when I'm out here, I should see 1, 2, or 3 ohms. It should be, point should be closed and shorted. And when I get to that mark, it should open, and it's open all the time. So I'm going to adjust that point with the adjustment screw right here and set it right, and then show you how it reads right, and that's going to fix the trouble. Okay, so I got it adjusted and cleaned with my 1000 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to show you now how it reads. So it's in between the mark and it's open. If I back it off the mark, contact closes. I have 0.7, which means it's closed. If I go back in between the mark, it's open. Come off the mark, boom, closed. Okay, so in between the mark, open, off the mark, closed. That's how it's supposed to be set. I think that was his trouble. I'm gonna go ahead and verify the other side too. Make sure it's set right. Put it all back together, see if we get spark. All right, success. Got the flywheel back on. Got my spark checker hooked up. When I hit the electric start, I'm trouble with this lead, but we do have spark. I like it. I like it. I think she's gonna run. I'm gonna put everything back together and watch her run. Now we got all the parts on. We got Michael's fuel pump, carburetor, and magneto. Let's see if she runs. Yes, there she runs. So I'm gonna take the magneto, carburetor, fuel pump back off, put mine on, and ship all this back to Michael. Projects was a success. Well, all right, I got it. I got Michael's magneto, his carburetor, and his fuel pump off the motor. I'm getting ready to pack it up. I'm gonna send him a T-Mike cap, just like he sent me one of his caps. And it was more of the story was that the magneto had problems. Coils weren't aligned right on the base, and the top set of points was not set correctly, and I had to clean the points too. So there was multiple problems with the magneto, but spark problem is normally the problem. I would say 90% of the time. So if anybody out there has problems with their magnetos or carburetors and you want to send them to me, just go right ahead. Don't forget to send me one of your special caps, and I'll return with the T-Mike. I actually got a special place for this cap. I'm going to show you all that right now. So I built a set of shelves right here below my fish I've caught, and my son's 410. I bought him when he was 12 years old. And here's the cap that Michael sent me, and another customer sent me on his mail-in repair. So when you send me your caps, I'm gonna add them up on the shelf right next to my Saints and LSU Tiger banner. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. See y'all next time. Thanks for watching the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please click on subscribe and tell all your friends about T-Mike's Vintage Outboards YouTube channel. Also, I have dozens of links below in the description. You can find my eBay store, all the parts I have in there. You can find my trusted T-Mike parts, where I make kits for the fuel pump conversions, for your carburetors, for your magnetos and your gear cases. You also have a link for my mail-in repair service, how to send me your parts to repair and send them back to you. Also a link in there for technical consulting if you need some help with your vintage motors. So I love what I do. I love all the videos that you guys have requested for me to make. Keep the requests coming in, and I'll keep making the videos. And remember, always remember, and never forget, here at T-Mike's Vintage Outboards, we're doing it one motor at a time.